heading out? The scales are itching for a fight. It's that or a bad case of rust chancre. Ha 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 ha.
We are but maggots, riding in the filth of our own corruption.
My favorite drinking buddy. Let's get some mead.
Azura's wisdom to you, friend.
I always thought the new Harbinger would be taller.
You've been a good
myself.
friend to me. Vilkas said you're the new Kodlak. I don't know what that
Until
means,
next
but
time.
you seem honorable, so that's good.
Ready to get moving? Hard to say. Aside from the fact that ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴆ recruited mages, I'd say the biggest difference is the name. The companions already have a long history.
What kind
We
of weapon
were
do you
trying to
prefer?
make one,
I like the smaller,
but
quicker
we were
blades.
both founded on honor
Yes,
and
I'm
glory.
very fond of saying
The
that.
fact that
You know
a
I
few
like
people
hammers and
around
axes.
here still believe in it
Aren't they slow?
is a testament
I
to
can
their
get in and out
company.
before you have one swing.
Let's test that out sometime.
But they're still around, which is more than you can say for mine. But in all honesty, if a companion tells you they only care about
You might do
gold,
well to learn a smaller
I
weapon.
take their
Better
words with a
style.
grain of void salt.
Tiny blades don't hurt enough.
Some of
A
these
sword
Nords
needs
are too
weight.
afraid they'll sound
But
like
ten
milk
little
drinkers
bucks.
to tell you how they really
All
feel.
I need is one to
But
cut
I
it
don't
in
think
half.
they'd be
Well,
here if Kodlak didn't
that way.
believe in them as much as ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴆ believed in me. It was. I could tell you 1,000 stories of the glory days, but most of them only remind me of how it ended, and what we lost. But the one I'll always remember fondly is the day we were delivering sacks of potions to a village full of Dunmer refugees. Many of my fellow Argonians didn't like what we were doing. Even Moontail scowled at the notion. But ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴆ stood his ground. There were sick children who needed these potions. It was the honorable thing. I thank you, traveler. Your words are kind. Still, to some we were traitors, and it wasn't long before they made their feelings known. They ambushed our camp one night when the mist was thick. Skilled warriors with poison-tipped spears. The others fought them off as best they could. ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴆ ordered me to stay with the cargo. One by one, I watched my friends emerge from the white, blood dripping from their wounds. Bodan arrived carrying Ulaway on his shoulder. He said more were on the way. He turned to Elia, but she shook her head. She was all out of magicka. Indril was the first to suggest we drank the potions from the shipment. ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴆ said he would kill anyone who tried. I didn't even think. My company looked to me. They trusted me, and I knew then. It didn't matter how many of them were waiting for me in that mist. It was me against them, and I couldn't lose. The others wished me luck. Bodan stood up to speak, but it was Moontail of all people who said the words I'll never forget. "Remember, child," he said, "it matters not the size of their blades, or the size of their numbers, only the size of your heart." And on that day, it was big enough. You lead, I'll follow.
Need something?
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
That's right. Mop the town.
Let's see here. A letter. Not sure who from. He wouldn't say, just that he was a friend of yours. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
I don't want your stink driving my customers away.
The gods.
I'm telling you, I heard it. Howling. Those werewolf tales are...
How can I help, Brother Norm?
Be careful!
Ready to get moving? You lead, I'll follow. An old friend? Well, I think we can rule out Arnwolf. This person's knowledge of the alphabet goes beyond the letter C. As for who it is, well, I have no idea. In life, you make a lot of friends and a lot of enemies. And this could be from any of them. Agreed. I didn't always think so, but you get your tail caught in enough traps, and eventually you learn to watch your step. You lead, I'll follow. Friend or foe? I don't think I'll be able to avoid this stranger for long. Not if he knows where I live. We're heading out? The scales are itching for a fight. It's that or a bad case of rust chancre.
So, the Swamp Knight lives. Thank RK.
Bodan, what are you doing here?
Looking for you and Elia. I searched east and west, high and low. The sands of time flowed for many months, but I managed to find you both.
I haven't seen Elia since we parted in Bravo. How is she?
I'm sorry, old friend. She's dead.
No. How?
I don't know. She was found dead in her room at the Oak Enclosure in Karol. It's not the sort of establishment where an assassin can slip in unnoticed.
With Elia, he wouldn't have to. Not if he was handsome enough.
True, but there's a reason I sought her. The same reason I'm here with you now. Elia isn't the only one. It started with Ulaway. At the time I was disheartened, yet I was far from surprised. The Shadow Scale builds a ledger of enemies that runs longer than a Leviathan's tail. However, while mourning one friend, there came news of two more. Arnwolf and Moontail had perished as well.
By the hist. What about the others? Ptolemy? Indril?
They're fine, as far as I know. The first thing I did was seek Dalome's counsel. He was surprised to see me, but gracious, as always. When I told him of what happened, he asked that I warn you and Elia, whereas he would stay and search for Indril. Although, to be honest, the Bosmer did not concern me as much as you two. You know as well as I do that no one will ever find her, so long as she doesn't want to be found.
Arnwolf. Moontail. Elia. Why?
A question without an answer, or perhaps far too many. When we were a company, there were no shortage of people who wanted us dead. Together, we could always fend them off. Apart, we are at their mercy.
Then we band together one last time. We take the fight to anyone and everyone who dares kill one of our own.
My friend, I see time hasn't frayed your passion. The problem is our enemy has not a face.
Forgive me, Bodan. All those years. All those lessons. And sometimes I wonder if I've learned anything at all.
You were always his favorite. And in this case, you aren't in the wrong. Aggression may be what is needed. However, our best weapon at this point is our wits, not our blades. I've done some research on our past jobs, and it appears there is one unscrupulous lord we managed to thwart far more often than the others. A baron, in fact, by the name of Gabania. As it so happens, it seems one of his agents is in Falkreath, attempting to secure a fur deal with the local hunters. I have other leads as well, which I myself will attend to. If you can vet this one, perhaps we can narrow down our suspects.
All right. I'll find out what I can.
Be safe, old friend.
I know this isn't your fight, Traveler, but whoever killed the others must be one damn good fighter. And I'd feel better if you were by my side. As am I. It seems like I'm always mourning someone. There will be plenty of time for that, though, when this business is done. For now, I just want to do right by the ones that are living. It's not. And I don't mean from assassins, but from himself. Bodan never really got over his wife's death. I don't know if I told you this, but every day he was with us was a fight to keep him alive. Dalom used vengeance to motivate him. Looking into his eyes, I wonder if that's all but settled. But honor is a funny thing. Sometimes it trumps even love. We may not be a company, but he'd never abandon us now. If he thinks this is the best way to go about it, then I trust him. Truth be told, it was always going to be in death. Maybe that's what the mourner's clothes were for. So when I saw them next, at least I'd be properly attired. I never thought I would be mourning them in this way. No, I don't think I'm gonna be alright. Not for a while. I'm gonna be confused, frustrated, and angry. Still, I appreciate the concern, Traveler. At times like this, I'm reminded what it is I value most, and why I have to see this through. You lead, I'll follow.
Thank you for bringing her here. If there's one thing unrealistic values, it's friends. I'm glad she's found a resourceful one. So I've heard. It seems even now the Swamp Knight chooses her companions wisely. Perhaps someone of your stature will do for her what I could not, for the people I've lost. Yes, black robes. Mourners we never would have guessed. I know what it's like to lose someone you love. If this assassin is one of their kin, then I understand their motives better than anyone. It's possible. While the child himself is too young to have done such acts, it could be someone working on his behalf. A friend, a loved one, even the Dark Brotherhood. What happened was certainly motive enough. I'm sure she has. She likes to romanticize the old days, a disease which I myself inflicted her with. As the youngest of our group, we all try to influence her in our own way. I try to teach her the arts and poetry, but while at times she speaks as eloquently as a king's blade, I could never truly cure her of the swamp. Arnwulf tried to get her to drink with him, but conversely she developed a distaste for mead. Moontail enjoyed teasing her, although it was always in jest. Elia tried to teach her about men, and ᵯᴑᴆᴆ wanted to groom her to be a master swordsman like him. Indrel, well, she ignored her, but Indrel ignored everyone. We all did. Greener than pond scum, I believe is what Moontail called her. ᵯᴑᴆᴆ, however, said he chose her for a reason. He never said what that reason was. If I were to guess, I would say she was a symbol of purity. She bore none of the scars that the rest of us had. In time, through her deeds, she would come to represent what the Honorable Eight aspired to be. She was, in the end, a clean slate. I was always a bit detached, to be honest. I joined for different reasons than the others. That isn't to say I didn't enjoy the glory. Under different circumstances, I may have been consumed by it. I have many, but I apologize for my rudeness, ᵯᴑ, as they are jovial tales, and our friend is not in the mood to hear them. I imagine it wasn't much of a secret why I joined the company. ᵯᴑᴆᴆ promised me vengeance, and he was never one to break a promise. When I was younger, I cared only for status. I wanted fame and glory, which is precisely why I moved to Black Marsh. Even in Skyrim there are more bars than flakes of snow, but in the marsh I could ply my trade without peer. And of peers I had none. Soon tribes from Thorn to Solris knew of the Red Guard with the golden lute and the silver tongue. Life couldn't have been grander. I had achieved the success I craved, and at home, my wife was pregnant with our first child. Yes, they say it's always darkest before the dawn, but never does one imagine the reverse. My love was torn from me like darkness swallowing the midday sun. They say it was an illness that claimed her and my child. I know it was poison. When I met her, the first thing I noticed was her eyes. A Redguard with green eyes was a curious thing. And they were brighter than any gem, and when they smiled, all the dollar of the swamp was washed away by their light. They say when a person is poisoned, the blacks of their eyes widen, like a curtain drawn to block out the sun. That's how I knew. For those last few days she was still alive. But the light from those brilliant green eyes, gone. ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ was the only one who believed me. He was the only one who cared about the honor of a broken bard. He knew me to be a man of integrity, and he knew the tribal chieftain was not. In all my years, I have never met a more honorable person, nor one who could better identify that virtue in others. I did, in a matter of speaking, although I don't know when. For those who would murder a wife and an unborn child, corruption is part of their very soul. As part of the Honorable Eight, ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴆ assured me we would catch them for the next crime, if only to convict them of the previous one. There were about a dozen mortals I suspected of the deed, and together, we killed them all. The last one, though, something about his scales, they were bright green, as if he had stolen my beloved's light. If you were to ask me which one was the culprit, I would stake my life on it being him. What I know has more to do with the victims than the killer. ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴆ was a master assassin. Arnwulf was a bear in single combat. Elia and Moontail were both accomplished mages. To kill them all, one would have to adapt to their weaknesses, or be of such skill that such measures were unnecessary. This assassin, he has studied us. No doubt he knows what we are all capable of, and what we are not. That is why, for my dear Swamp Knight, your presence may be key to her survival. Indeed. 4 princes set out to play a game. They would choose a mortal, and each tempt him with one wish. Nocturnal offered riches. Hermias Mora offered wisdom. Sanguine offered pleasure, and Molag Bal offered power. Yet the man was simple. He had no desire for the trivialness of gold, the pain of wisdom, the fleeting nature of pleasure, or the pressure of power. So he turned not to a Daedric prince, but to Sithis, and was granted the one wish he desired above all others: death. It's a convenient tale. Not all things in life are as temporary or trivial as riches and pleasure. Some things are eternal. The friendship she shares with you and I with her, those are worth living for. So I beg my love to wait just a little longer. My work is not done.
You lead, I'll follow.
Now I remember. You're that new member of the Companions. So, you what? Fetch the mead?
Hold on. You've got the wrong guy. I never challenged you to a duel.
Do not tell me you are backing out now. I thought you Nord monkeys were supposed to be brave.
Arnwolf couldn't be bested by strength.
I'm not even a Nord.
Anula away.
Oh, please. You were certainly one yesterday. And I remember you plain as
What
day.
business do college mages have in a
The
place like
ridiculous brown
Sarthon
hat.
anyway? It's a place for Nord dead. Bunch of weird experiments.
Ridiculous.
The Emperor of
You have a
Skyrim,
point.
dead.
Perhaps
These
you
are
are
dark
not the
times,
person who
my
annoyed
friend.
me yesterday.
Dark times indeed.
Hail Summoner. Conjure me up a
No.
warm bed, would you?
You are the person who is annoying me today. For that, you will die.
Wait. You know who I work for.
If it's a duel you seek, stranger, then I suggest you leave. I am not here to fulfill your desire for pain, or free you from your wretched existence. At least, not today. Ah, yes, and what, pray tell, do you wish to converse about, hmm? Politics, religion, my two favorite subjects. Perhaps you wish to discuss both. How delightful. But why bother with the foreplay? You seek vengeance for your loved ones, that's why you want to talk. That's why everyone wants to talk. Well, you are too late. I am no longer a Thalmor. The clothes are just that. Clothes. I will not discard a perfectly adequate robe. A peculiar position to take, seeing that I have no side to speak of. If you are with the Thalmor, then I am no longer with you. If you are an enemy of the Thalmor, then I am no longer against you. Regardless, we are in no way in league with each other. Now that I think about it, perhaps I have seen that muskrat of a beard before. He might have even recruited me to assassinate some hunters. Come to think of it, I might have even agreed to the contract. It sounds like something I would do. I'm almost sorry I terminated him. Now, when you put it that way, I am indeed sorry for my actions. I will simply have to murder more Nords to compensate. I hope that will serve as an appropriate apology. As a matter of fact, he did mention a bard by that name. Here, take this. I certainly have no need for it. It is a rather simple matter. I disobeyed a direct order from my superior. I was stationed in Markarth with 2 others. We were investigating a family that kept abnormal hours, staying up well past midnight. Unfortunately, myself and one of the other justiciars got into an argument over the children. The fool thought they were innocent. They were future rebels. The moment we arrested their parents, they would forever despise us. The wisest course was to execute them. The issue was made irrelevant, however, when the entire family was found murdered. That is insignificant. The family was dead, and no longer worshipped Talos. Moreover, by letting a murderer run amok, we prevented the family from becoming martyrs. There was just one problem. Everyone assumed I was the murderer. It didn't help that I've been a rather vocal proponent of mass execution. So we decided it was best to use this perception to our advantage. Now, I never confessed to the crime, but I was stripped of my rank and exiled. This gave the perception that justice was served. The only thing I know is the person was quite efficient and extremely disturbed. The rest would be mere speculation. Ondolamar estimated that Talos worship would decrease by 1/3 in the wake of the murders. I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't doubt his calculation. Of course, the Thalmor are not the Empire. We do not share their frothing obsession with bureaucracy. Talk to them and you'll see. Find a soldier and ask him to file a report. Then watch as his mouth becomes a pond of saliva. Although, I suggest you don a helmet in advance. One of those dwarven ones, lest his response shower your cheek. We are the first people, mortals fashioned in the mold of the divines. We don't have to respect anyone save ourselves. That is the whole point for this war, to put everyone in their rightful place. That it will. When superior minds are allowed to govern, the benefits will proliferate to all who are subject to their rule. There's nothing to tell. They act brave and fight poorly. The last one who challenged me was too busy rattling off the names of the relatives I had supposedly extinguished to even bother raising his shield. I think he was fumbling through what must have been a small army of second cousins when I set his weapon on fire. Him? He doesn't count. That wasn't technically a challenge. Then again, none of them are. I kill them all like a spider kills flies, lying down. I might do the same to you. Tomorrow. It is a temporary escape. I do not plan on remaining in this hovel of a kingdom beyond the next season. My plan is to return to the Somerset Isle after doing a little sightseeing. Just because this land as a whole is irredeemable does not mean there are not the occasional sparkles of beauty. In fact, the squalor works to its advantage. In the Somerset Isle, even the dirt has a place in the pantheon of wonder. Here there are no aesthetics to compete with. They are tolerant because they are afraid. As for the Jarl, it matters not whether Sidgir or Dengir is in charge. Because when two buffoons of equally damaged minds vie for a throne, the reasonable citizens lose interest in the process. As such, more voice is given to the fools. And with fools in charge, the law becomes meaningless. Here, power makes the rules. They are not organized. There are only the occasional challenges, brought forth by those emboldened by drink. I usually deflect their taunts and tell them to return in the morning when they have sobered. None ever do. Very well. Yes. Very well. All right, then. Yes.
If what that note says is true, then Bodan may get some exercise yet. Although by the looks of it, he's not the only one. Sellswords traveler. 5 by my count.
Someone there?
This should be good.
Weren't expecting that, were you? Oh, what happened?
Bodan once took down half a dozen men in the middle of a song before finishing his set. He won't have much trouble with these sellswords. Well, we better check on Bodan. If these sellswords are any indication, he's gonna have a lot of corpses to burn tonight.
Damn shame.
I am, and I'm not. It's different when we're all working together. I get that old feeling, like the gods and the Hist are on our side.
What happened?
In any case, let's go back to Morthal. If this Baron isn't responsible, maybe Bodan knows who is. Come on, is that all you got? Is that it? Is that your best? That's the best I can do.
There you are, Swamp Knight. Just in time to help me clean up.
Bodan. It looks like that Thalmor was right. Gabania sent these men.
If these are Gabania's men, then that means the assassin is not.
So now what? What's our next move?
That, my friend, is for ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ to decide.
He's here?
Indeed, he should be arriving at the Moorside Inn any moment now. Although, it's occurred to me I don't know this marsh as well as you two. Companion, do you mind leading the way?
Ready to get moving?
Finally, someone comes in. Kick off your boots, stay a while. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. I got nothing but time these days.
You want something to drink?
ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ. It really is you.
Anumla, Bodan. It is good to see you both alive and well.
Hear any news on Indral?
No, and I don't suspect we will. You were right, old friend. It was like trying to grasp the wind. However, it seems we have an even more able warrior in our midst. I thank you, companion, for keeping Anum-La safe.
Don't be so sure. It's not like the old days. Maybe this time, it was me doing the saving. Ha ha ha!
It wouldn't be the first time, my dear Swamp Knight. You proved yourself that night in Thorn, and countless times thereafter. Now, I hate to delay our reunion, but I would like to speak with the companion alone. The two of you order a drink, and we will join you shortly. Companion, will you come and speak with me outside?
You and ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ go have your little chat. I'll be here.
How can I help you?
First, I want to thank you once more for protecting Anum-La. She is like a daughter to me, and had our company survived, I was to leave it to her. True, but she has always fought better when she fights for someone other than herself. I wanted to ask you for your thoughts on Bodan. Do you find him trustworthy? Remember though, she is naive. She grew up alone, and we are her family. She would be blind if Bodan sought to betray her. No, I trust him now more than ever. For you see, the best way to solidify one's beliefs is to challenge them. You are perceptive, companion. You have the makings of a great leader. Yes, I misled the three of you earlier when I said I could not find Indral. I neglected to mention that she was more than eager to find me. She was adamant that Bodan was a traitor. She believed he was only in the company for vengeance. She also said that Ulawe would never let his guard down unless the killer was someone he trusted. Lastly, the motive. She said Bodan never forgave us for what happened in that cave. It made us no different than the ones who killed his wife. I admit, I was tempted to believe it. However, after talking with you and getting a fresh perspective, it's clear that Indral was wrong. Now, do you have any questions for me? I am sure there is much you wish to know. Ah, a good question. I don't know if she told you, but I had sent her invitation to another. She must have found it on a courier, as there was truly no other explanation. Bodan seems to think I chose her as a symbol, to be the one member of the company who was truly clean. That is the bard's way of thinking. A swordsman doesn't consider metaphors and the like. The truth is, I never expected her to stay. I thought that after the first night, she would go scurrying off back into the swamp. Throughout our years together, I kept waiting for her to buckle, waiting for that moment where I would be forced to send her home, once and for all. But she never did, and I never had to. In truth, as of right now, I've decided to stop thinking about it altogether. Indra's words were poisonous, even though her intentions were noble. The last thing we need is to turn on each other. The assassin will come to us. There is no need to divine who he is. To answer that, I must take you back to the Great War. Before then, most of my experience came in tournaments and the arena. You risked your life, but there were always rules. A knight's code. But war is different. The horrors I've seen, I would wish them upon no mortal. You learn that under all the pomp and pageantry, we truly are nothing more than beasts. Yet, what I couldn't live with was my own guilt. Countless times I chose my loyalty to the military over doing what was right. Those horrors, you see, were mine. When the war was over, I vowed to never let loyalty cloud my judgment again. I would do what was honorable and stay committed to what was right. The Honorable Eight was a company founded on that principle. In war, people chase victory at all costs. Come death or glory, the one thing we would never do is compromise our beliefs. We rest and we wait. Don't worry, I had a good long nap on the way here. I'll stand watch until tomorrow.
I hope I'm not interrupting, but our dear Swamp Knight nearly burst through the door waiting for you to return.
Not at all. In fact, I was just about to have our friend summon you.
Is everything all right?
Yes, everything is fine. I have a request, however. I know you said you would never play that song again. Yet, right now, if you would do your old friend a favor, I would like to hear it one last time. For the ones we lost, and the ones we grieve.
ᵯᴑᴆᴆ, you're the one who gave me peace. For you, I'll play, and pray the gods answer.
I thank you. Go on, have a drink. I'll be here.
Finally, someone comes in. Kick off your boots, stay a while. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. I got nothing but time these days.
Get some rest, traveler.
The three of us have some
I'm sure
catching up to do.
ᵯᴑᴆ will have a plan when
Get
he's
some
ready.
rest, companion. We'll talk tomorrow.
Get some rest, traveler. I'm sure ᵯᴑᴆ will have a plan when he's ready.
Running an inn weren't my plan, but Falian decided to move here, so I joined him. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Wake up, traveler. Bodan and Dalomay, they're gone. Bodan wouldn't have left without leaving a note. It must be around here somewhere. Keep looking. Maybe he left it in one of the dressers. You found something. What does it say? Dalomay? No, I refuse to believe it. Let me see that note. Bodan, thank you. There's only one place I can think of. The marsh. Come on, maybe we can still do something.
We met. I didn't want to come, but you insisted. You were always right.
I wish it felt that way. Goodbye, my brother.
No!
I'm sorry, little hatchling. I know you loved Bodan, as did I.
Dalomay. I stood by you, trusted you. Is this what you call a knight's honor?
I understand your anger. Moondale, Elia, Arnwolf, Ulaway, and Bodan. With every loss, a piece of me died with them. Yet I made a vow when I formed the Honorable Eighth to stand by what I believed was right. Even if it meant slaying our own. That is what it means to be a knight. That is the very definition of honor.
And I swore my own vow to protect the lives of my friends and to never let another innocent die.
Then stand by your vow, Swamp Knight, as I will mine. Show me my lessons were not in vain. For honor.
be like this. Sitting on a tiny island. The 7 of them were standing there, waiting for the aid. I marched up to them, lashing my tail against the water. I said, I heard this company is in need of a true knight. Well, look no further. They all laughed, all except Dalomei. He walked up to me, shook my hand and said, welcome. I don't know if what he did was the honorable thing, but he believed it was, and that's a burden few are willing to bear. Now, having slain him, I know his pain. It's over. May Dalomei find the peace in death he could not find in life. I don't know what's right or wrong anymore. All I know is today, I lost 2 friends. Thank you, Traveler. I'll do my best to remember the fallen. Moontail for his surprises. Arnwolf for his laugh. Bodan for his wisdom. Ulaway for his cunning. And Elia for being the sister I never had. And, of course, Dalomei for taking pity on a little hatchling from the swamp and showing her the way.